Professor Tanveer Singh is a training manager of IIT Bombay for Haryana State for spoken tutorial project initiated by MHRD Government of India. He is also acting as a research associate since 2010 with Nanjing Forestry University, China, in the field of social and environmental sustainability. Published more than 60 review and research papers in national, international journals and conferences. And he has also conducted around 10 national and international conferences. He is also the advisory board member of International Institute of Research. He is certified Microsoft Innovative Educator and Trainer and also Apple Teacher. He is certified Wakelet Ambassador and Trainer. So with this brief introduction, I request you, sir, to start the webinar. And I'm going to hand over the control to you, sir. Sir, you can start your.
Thank you all, and many thanks to CSI Group and especially to Vipin sir to giving us opportunity to present over you. And today's topic is Quadrant of MOOCs. As the time limit is 30 minutes, so I will try to give you a brief about MOOCs and how e-content comes and what is the example of e-content development, so that you can learn that what are the various parameters or important parameters that are required to generate or to develop a course which is open online courses. So as today's objective is understanding MOOCs, we can say that there is a rise of MOOCs. We all know that MOOCs is a massive open online courses having no restriction on class size. For example, in our class, we may have a 60 or 80 students or 100 students, but during a MOOCs, there is no class size, there is no restriction on that. We can train thousands or lakhs of during our MOOCs courses, and it is open to all, which means no BA student can sit in BTech class and vice versa. If you want to learn MOOCs, any course you can join, any class you can join. If you have the area of interest matching with that particular, then there is no restriction that you can't join any class which is available on MOOCs platforms. So it is open to all, and there is a half collaborative tools. Now, collaborative tools means yesterday you were having a session of Mr. Amit Kumar on Wakelet. So Wakelet is a one tools. Similarly, there are many other collaborative tools which helps the educator to engage student in remote learning and make learning practices in a better way, so that students may absorb the information not just only from the presentation or video. They can actually watch the tutorials to learn software and to practice that. So it makes easier for educators to teach their students using a different collaborative tools. And it is a learner-led environment, which means we have to change our strategies, we have to change our course content, see any feedback on any response from the learner, so that it will become a learner-led environment and we can give our best to teach. So now there are three factors which is the cause of rise of MOOCs, or we can say that nowadays we are talking about MOOCs, e-learning, remote learning, online learning, because the three main factors are digital services are fingertips, which means if we want to order a food, if we want to book a cab, if we want to order the clothes or any our home appliances and number, know that we have a smartphone, we have applications, we can order what we want. So digital services are in our hand or at our finger. Second thing is data never sleeps. If you're working in the midnight, if you're working in the late night, it is not restriction that you can work on in the afternoon or in the evening. Data never sleeps. You can do your work, you can utilize your data anytime, anywhere, whenever you are okay to use the data. And the third thing is, which is absolutely correct for us, that is data hungry generation. Suppose we were in our homes, but the internet connection was active. Suppose if that data stops, what we will do, we will teach our students, how we will interact with each other. So definitely before lockdown, during lockdown and post lockdown as a data hungry generation, because we have set up almost everything on online. we are using a digital services, so we can say that yes, we are a data hungry generation. Because of this, we can go to masses, say from 1000 students to 1 lakh students by a MOOCs platform. So it is the time to learn about such platforms and aware your students as much as possible so that they can be benefit from the world's leading MOOCs providers. And earlier it was having lesser access to educators and students about these courses. So thinking to train 1 lakh students across the world, then there is only one option, that is a MOOCs platform through which you can touch the masses. It's the right time to aware your students about such platforms available so that they can practice and absorb alert from these courses. So the now question is blended learning, about the blended learning. So many educators asked me that whether it is going to be only learning after the lockdown or during the lockdown. So the answer is no. Face-to-face learning, that is we known it as a class, and the online learning, both the phenomena will exist, both the processes will exist. We have to be efficient, our syllabus around 30%, minimum 30% online, so that whenever there is an unrest in the country, whether it is a corona or any other pandemic or any earthquake, something danga fasad jo bhi hota hai, so anything like that, so we have to be very efficient to have a 30% learning should be on online, and rest we can cover up in our classroom teaching. So during any unrest in the country, we should have a backup so that we can teach them about our subject which we are going to teach in the classrooms. So the both the processes, both the phenomena will give rise to blended learning. So blended learning will exist post lockdown too, which is a mixture of classroom teaching and the online learning. So now we will discuss. So till now we have understand what is MOOC and what is the importance of MOOCs. So now what are the various quadrants or parameters which are used to develop the MOOCs, that is massive open online course. Number one is video tutorials, absolutely, which is required if you are going to teach about subject to your students. And the second thing is e-content. It is not only about the video tutorials. We have to prepare some supporting documents. It can be in the form of web resources or any kind of presentations or Excel sheets, or anything can be there in the form of PDFs so that it will support your video tutorials. And the third thing, which is important one, is assessment and evaluation. It is also very much required if you are going to deliver any lecture, and after that there should be a process which is assessment, which can be in any form we will discuss, which is very important if we are going to deliver any course or if we are going to develop any MOOCs course. And the last one is discussion. After the course you have delivered, you have taken the assessment as well. There should be a discussion forum or discussion room where you can discuss with your students about the feedbacks, about the responses, any other needed to add in your course as per the, because we have should be a learner led environment. So discussion is a very important parameter if we are going to develop any MOOCs. So one by one we will discuss tutorials. Now video tutorials can be of two types. Number one is recorded lectures, that can be in the form of presentation. So suppose in this session, I'm going to deliver a lecture on using the presentation, which I have prepared in Google Slides. So this kind of lecture can be a one type, that is a recorded lecture in the form of presentation you are going to deliver. And number two is screen recordings for live demonstration, which means if you are going to teach any tool, suppose it's a Wakelet or a Flipgrid or a Google Slides or a Google Forms, or if you're going to teach any software, it can be Scilab, OpenForm, LaTeX, Linux, Microsoft Windows, Office, LibreOffice. So any tool, if you want to teach to your students, so the best way is you can record your screen and you can perform all the activities or operations in that particular software, and your screen will be recorded, and that video which will act as a live demonstration of that tool get the students. So for that I have mentioned few tools. These two tools are LibreOffice Impress and Google Slide, which can be used to prepare a. Now when we talk about the presentation, it should not be like putting all whole one page of book into your one slide, lesser text with more images, and not in the paragraph but in the bullet forms, using different colors, using less text and more figures. And if you're going to add figures, you have to be careful about the copyright and plagiarism issues. So there are few websites. Number one is pixabay.com. So you can use pixabay.com and you can have free images, free from copyright. You can even use that images which you will download from Pixabay can be useful to use in a commercial use as well. So if you're going to use it for a commercial use, you can download the free images, having no copyright issues in that. So you have to be careful if you're going to use the images, because suppose you have enrolled 1 lakh student and your course is a big hit in the market, and across the world many educators or learner have joined you, and suppose if you used image which is a copyright of someone else, so you can be in a trouble. So be careful when you're using any image, and don't forget to mention the source, or use the image which is available to be for the reuse. And in the Google images you can also click on the usage rights button to download or to select those images only which are having the option to reuse that particular image. So be careful about that, and it should be effective presentation with a lot of creativity in that presentations. So next you can use Google, and the next 5 tools, that is OBS and Format Factory. Both are the free and open source tool. You can legally download these 2 tools, that is OBS and Format Factory, for your screen recording. So if you want to use it for a screen recording, these 2 tools can be helpful. And these three, one, you can record your screen for up to 10 minutes, that is Screencast-O-Matic, Screencastify and Loom. 10 minutes because it's a software and they have given freebie, and you can record your screen up to 10 minutes. After that you have to re-record your screen for the next modules. But in the OBS and Format Factory there is no limit on the time. You can have unlimited, you can have a long video duration recorded with these tools. So Press is a free and open source tool, and it is available for Windows, Linux and Mac. There is no restriction on operating system. You can use any, and it is available in more than 30 languages supported. And the best thing is you don't have to purchase any license, and there is no annual fee linked with LibreOffice Impress. And if you have recorded, if you have prepared your presentation in LibreOffice Impress, you can use it in .ppt or .pptx as well. You can download in that particular format, which can be used in Microsoft PowerPoint. So there is no interoperability issue. You can also open the presentation which are prepared in other tools, that is Microsoft PowerPoint, you can use in LibreOffice Impress. So after that you can incorporate special effects and animation, and this is very important if you are going to use it for your students. So this can be also be used for your students. And the next thing is Google Slides. So the best thing linked with Google Slide is you can access your presentation anytime, anywhere. Suppose you are away from your laptop and you don't have access for your presentation, you can in with your Gmail account, and you can open your presentation and can access it, because it is on Google, it is in your Gmail account, so you can access it anywhere. So you have a bunch of presentation themes. You will receive a pre-made presentations that to design your own presentation. So you don't have to use the presentation slides from the scratch. You can have the presentation which are pre-made available with the Google, and it is very effective. You can see a lot of simple design that is used for your students. And you can have a together on common slides. Suppose you are preparing your any meeting, which can be a BOS meeting or any other meeting. So you have lot of faculty involved in that particular project. So you can work on your dedicated slides, and it will be a common presentation at the end. You can invite, share using the share link in the Google Slides so that you can work together. And the last one is saved automatically. You don't have to save all the time after you made in that. It will be saved automatically. So next to it is OBS, that is Open Broadcaster software. It is also available with Windows, Mac, and Linux. It is a free and open source software. And apart from the video recording or screen recording, you will find a number of other features, that is audio capturing, mixing. You can all do all this stuff. There is an option to noise gain, and it is a multi-view screen available. You can monitor 8 different scenes simultaneously in OBS. And tutorials available with OBS because it's a free and open source software. So support and documentation regarding this particular software is available. And you can have a studio mode. That means you can also do the live streaming with OBS, and before going into live you can view your video. You can have a studio mode available with this. So live streaming is available with OBS. You can download it. And next to it is we have a Format Factory, which is the simplest software. I always use Format Factory recording my screen because it is a very simple and user friendly. In OBS, you may find some, you can say that some your IT skills. I can say that because it's a free and source, and you have to find the things. You can have a audio input, you can have a video input, but in the Format Factory you just have to click on the screen recording button, and it will give you the options to click on the record button and the stop button. And recording, it will be saved in a different folder where you can watch your tutorial if it is prepared okay or not. And apart from that, you can also size of heavy files. Suppose your video is 1 hour long or 2 hour long, and it goes to 1 GB. So it will give you an option to save in the lesser sizes also. You can download it in the form of 200 MB or 300 MB. So you have the option to reduce the size. And you can also have an audio converter, clipper, joiner, splitter, mixer. All these options are available. So that's why it is having a name, that is Format Factory of all the formatting tools. You can also have a picture file conversions. If you have a JPG you want to change in the PNG, so you have the option to. After that, we have a PDF joiners, PDF to text, doc, Excel, video joiner, splitter, and crop. So it is the easiest way of doing the screen. I must say that you should try this so that you can record your screen and give the presentation to your students. So Format Factory is the best for that. E-content. So the all this is about the video tutorials. Now e-content, you should have a e-content, which is a supporting document in the form of PDF, spreadsheet, presentation, documents, online links, and resources. So you can prepare your presentation in this way. And then we have a assessment. Assessment now can be a multiple choice questions. It can be quiz that is conducted through Google Forms. It can be assignments, or it can be online presentations, and it can be video response. So which means you have to take something from students in these particular forms. So online presentation is a very good way, and video responses can be taken in the form of Flipgrid. There is a tool that is Flipgrid, so that can be used to take the video responses from the students. And we have a discussion forum which can be used to take the feedback, suggestions, and reviews from your participants, and it can be a doubt. So all these components are very much required if you are going to have a e-content development. And all these are the 4 quadrants of MOOCs. What we have learned is video tutorial can be fixed, which means if you have recorded your tutorial, it can be fixed. And obviously a key to ignite the interest of student for that particular video tutorial. And continuous changes required in the e-content assessment and the discussion part, so that there are number of updations available daily. You can have after monthly or quarterly, there may be updations in the technology in the. So e-content can be updated regularly to keep our students up to date. And assessment part is not only for the grade oriented, so concept should be clear. So assessment should be like that. And absolutely discussion is for better understanding, so that students can learn about the topic apart from the video tutorials and assessment part. So now I'm going to take an example of IIT Bombay spoken tutorial course, that has a MOOCs and how it can be example of e-content development or MOOCs. So it's a self-paced learning, which means we have the audios available that can be used for as a self-paced learning. Anytime, anywhere, one can learn the courses. It's a recorded lectures, and it is available in 16 Indian languages, Hindi too. And this is the one part that is it is having a video tutorials. And the next one is can be a form of assessment or evaluation or practice. Then quiz again for the assessment and evaluation part, and script file act as a supporting document. Script is available with all the tutorial that what professor said in the video is available in the form of script, and that script can be used as a notes for the students. And the discussion form, which is a fourth quadrant, so we can say that tutorials, e-content, assessment and evaluation, and discussion form. So spoken tutorial is consists of all these four quadrants, and we have just discussed about these quadrants to develop a MOOCs. So apart from that, all these courses can be utilized for the NAC accreditations. Many colleges have applied for that because we are skilling, we are providing the skilling to the students in their courses. We can have a faculty development program. Just now we are doing, and we can implement education, and it also fulfill your requirement of MOOCs, and you are supporting the remote digital learning and improving the placement record. So once you have worked on the skilling part of students, so automatically it will be initiated. So for that, Sri Sai Group is a academic center of IIT Memorials and doing a number of commendable efforts for their faculty and students as well. For that, we really appreciate the management. And through this, I will conclude that e-content development is a need of our. So all have to be very careful for doing the work on e-content development to make from copyright and plagiarism issues. And it is a need of ours, so we have to be very careful about how MOOCs work and what are the four ends that just we have discussed. So this is my email ID and WhatsApp number or calling number. If you have any query regarding this, I can share my video tutorial which I have recorded. I can share with you that how you can work on e-content development. Thank you so much. Over to you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your with us and all the participants. Sir, your session was very informative and it was quite interesting as well. So I think it's really, as you said, it's the need of the hour.
Thank
So
you.
on behalf of Shri Sai Group of Institute, I extend a hearty vote of thanks to Professor Tanveer, who spared a time from his busiest schedule to join us and grace this event. So thank you, sir, and thank you all the participants for making this event successful. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.